You know, there are two bosses out there that I'm kind of worried about facing in old style mode, but there's only one stage that gives me cold feet when it comes to this part of the playthrough. Yes, that was a pun, and sure enough, you all picked it. We might as well get it out of the way right now. Iceman, you are, unfortunately, next. Oh man, I don't like this stage. I mean, it starts off innocently enough. You get a bunch of crazy razies, make sure to hit them in their top half, or they'll detach and become a problem. Only takes one pellet, sure enough. And once you get past those four, you're done with them for the entire level. Up next, though, we start to see a couple of more reoccurring annoyances in the spines and the Pengs. Oh, the Pengs are going to become a problem in the second half of this stage, most definitely. Here, though, they're easy enough. You can get around that. And sure enough, again, first screen of this level, no problem. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any trouble with this stage, right? Well, now you move on to the disappearing blocks. You want to go from 1 to 3, 3 to 5, and then 5 and out of here. Funny thing is, if you get through this part at about, after the song loops 33 to 35 seconds in, you can time it where you go from block 4, 5, 6 and not even have to worry about landing in the water. Once you get past the second block section, though, oh, this is where the nightmare begins, because here are the footholders. These enemies will go wherever they want and do whatever they want, and my goodness gracious, did they do whatever they wanted so many times and so many failed runs. I probably played this stage for about 50 to 60 minutes, which meant, considering we're only a little more than a minute in, I probably had about 45 takes that failed. But it's the second set of footholders that make things tougher because sure enough they introduce the Pengs. Yes, I'm talking pretty fast, but you know what? This part gave me a lot of trouble. Because guess what? The Pengs, they can get caught up on a footholder, and that becomes kind of a problem. Oh, does it become kind of a problem? Because guess what? They can also, if they don't blow up right away, they can inch themselves above or below a footholder. And they most certainly did that, as I pretty much took an audible gasp when I got hit there. That is the first time out of the 40-plus runs I had in this stage where I made it past both sets. Oh, I am so thankful I did. Because now we are going to be getting ready for a boss fight that I mentioned at the very start of the vid as being one of the two I'm worried about facing. The reason for that is pretty simple. Although first, let's get through the shutter first, then we'll talk about little Iceman here. Gotta deal with the Pengs, and sure enough, I messed that up, but that's okay. I didn't lose that much health from it. So we're still in the same little danger zone. Because Iceman here, well, just like Elec Man, he can take you out in 3 hits. That sounds annoying, and that's because it is, because you have to hit him 28 times. He will constantly do an up to down, down to up pattern. Whichever way he starts, he does the opposite on his second shot, and then he'll move. So in other words, he can start down to up. Oh, I got hit. That's not a good sign, because there went 10 bars of health. Yikes. Honestly, the one good thing about this is that the Ice Slasher shots are farther apart than they were in the NES game, probably to compensate for the chibi art style. In other words, what I'm saying is Mega Man has a big old bubble head, and thank goodness for that, because I would not like to have to dodge these in the NES version right now. PSP1 gave me enough trouble. Sure enough, this fight's taking a good long while. And while it is dangerous to hop over him like that, just in case he does a low shot, I think it's worth it, because I want as much space between me and him as possible. And the idea of getting cornered at this juncture, when you've already been hit once, that's kind of a dangerous thing. I'll make that hit twice, because there it was, but sure enough, I've got him just enough, come on, and finally, I can chill out, because Iceman is finished. Goodness gracious. This stage is kind of a nightmare. I'm just going to say that right now. And what's even funnier is that it's probably harder in the NES version than it is the PSP. And if you don't think that footholder section is tough, I guarantee you to, well, I guarantee that you're wrong. Oh, I was going to do that without the magnet beam no matter what, and I'm glad I did, because we got through it, and sure enough, that takes care of 2 bots, thankfully. But that still leaves 4 to go, so Cut, Elec, Fire, and Bomb Man are left, and you guys and gals get to pick which one I'm going after next. For now, I'm just gonna rest. Hey.